Journal entry, 7th of the month of May, in the year of our Lord 1067. A few good people have joined me on my quest. Sophie, learned and honest soul, has quickly become as a mother to us all, and looks after scrapes and aches from walking the dusty roads. Brave and humble brother Thibault is my conscience, and his righteousness and piety serves as an example to us all. In a tavern, a big man named Richard, whom I had crossed paths with before, had introduced himself and asked to join as my bodyguard. He swings his warhammer with skill, unless he is preoccupied with reducing the burden of our provisions, of course. Enguerrand has a deft tongue, yet the wit of one who has never as much as seen a book in his life, and often is the subject of affectionate ribbing around the campfire. The greatest honour, though, must go to Thibault, who managed to convince the steward of Count Renaud of Clermont that we were a reliable group of great repute and worthy of being part of the entourage on a journey to Klingenberg, the heart of the Holy Roman Empire, where we stood in the luminous presence of His Majesty himself. I still cannot comprehend how the wily monk has achieved this, but I trust his judgment over my own. I have been suspicious of Gerhard the Franconian, a portly man we picked up along the road, and who got along brilliantly with Richard immediately, yet I do not fully trust him. I shall muster my courage and get to know him better, lest my unease may cause a rupture within the camp. And I may have to have a word with Richard, whose glances at Sophie are obvious to all of us, and get him to muster up his courage to speak to her in private. The Lord is my witness, that man would rather face a berserker in battle than speak a tender word from his heart. Seeing the wider world with my own eyes has firmed my conviction that, while it is my destiny to pursue my quest of becoming a knight of fame and repute, a strong arm alone will not suffice. We shall wander these lands the Lord created to behold the miracles that lay therein. We shall gather coin in reaches far and near, as while it is the Lord's world, it is man that rules it, and one cannot subsist on prayer alone. Bernard is on his way back from Germany, and he's for the first time really seeing the world in its wider glory, and that has sort of, well, also given him a bit of an understanding that he is going to need to earn some money. So the first focus before he will become a knight of fame and repute is going to have to be to, well, earn the keep for the camp. He does feel responsible. Who do we have now? The fields of Erbach are a sight to behold. Every crop in bloom, every leaf green, every stem luscious. I quickly tracked down the source of the verdancy, spotting a woman standing in a field, seemingly holding a lecture of some sort to a gathering of listeners. She notices me in the distance and turns in my direction. My knowledge of gardening is vast, yes, incomparably vast. So stay a while and listen. We could get the gardener trait or the down-to-earth gardener. Yeah, well, that's actually pretty good. 2 stewardship, I would take it, or 2 learning from down to earth, although that's a temporary one. Yeah, let's see what we get. And we get down to earth for 10 years, so that's +2 learning, but we have obviously encountered a little bit of a delay. And as a stroll around the markets of Weinheim, a loud ruckus comes from just a couple of stalls down from me. There's a furious man, animated and waving his hands. There seems to be a bit of a dispute. Let's see if there's anything. Who is he? He seems to know what he's doing. Let's see what we can possibly do. We can either aid him. 100 for no. We are not. He's the servant of the Doge of Venice. That's who he is. Okay, yeah, no, we don't have that money. We could try to take some advantage of him, or we can just watch the spectacle. Honestly, we don't have that much money, and it's a 50-50 chance. So I would say, yeah, we're not gambling on that. Let's just watch it and keep moving while we are walking through the luscious German countryside in June, so right in summer. And we're back and almost about crossing the border into France. Then we'll be looking at the next contract to see what we can do from here. It's a beautiful trip, although we can probably be a little bit more efficient with this in the future. As we trudge down the road, a building hoves into view. The battered sign outside reads, "The Queen's Head's Inn." No luck here tonight. We've barely got room for our current lodgers, let alone anyone new. Inside, the innkeeper shakes his head dismissively. And especially not you ragtag types. Ragtag? I beg your pardon. So we could threaten the innkeeper. Obviously, we don't want that. We could barter. Or we could just get some stress. We could, if we are successful, we pay 15 gold for 10 years of comfortable trappings, which gives us 25% provisions capacity. Don't really feel we need that. 15 gold. Gold is scarce right now, so we shall just move on. Especially that it's only a 50-50 chance. And now that we're back in France, as I am looking through the market stalls in Coulommiers, I feel my purse string cut. Despite my immediate reaction, the thief disappears in the crowd. Only through pure coincidence, one of my guards sees the man as he heads into a back alley. "Stop or I'll have your head," one of my guards shouted at him, and the thief turns around, giving us an angry, shifty stare. So we have met Thomas, who is I'm assuming, since we're back in France, who is a thief. He is vengeful, arrogant, and callous. We could hire him, but I don't feel like he's a particularly good fit for our camp, and definitely not for the righteous Master Bernard. So we can kill him. It's obviously an overreaction as well for petty theft. Now we'll just give me back my money, and then we'll call it quits. And we are back in Paris. All right. So we have fulfilled our first contract. We can make a request from the Count. We could ask him for a favor, fair few favors that he has to offer, but gold he does not have. Well, now that we're back here, first things first, let's have a quick look at the castle holding. And have a look at the training grounds. Okay, yes, because Richard the Brave is with me. I think I can spar with Richard. That is interesting. There should be a possibility to gather the Blade Master trait somewhere here, but for now we'll just be I might have to actually pay somebody to actually have a proper training session. For now, I'll just be sparring with Richard, and we'll see what happens. My prowess has increased by 1. I'll take it. So, is anybody in the garrison who would like to... actually, who do we need still? We do need a caravan master. Caravan master aptitude is probably... Does it say? This has a lot of things that is not... I would have assumed stewardship, but current options are only Sophie. Although her stewardship is not great, so it could be it's learning. Oh, it's a combo of learning and stewardship. Okay, so I need somebody with learning and stewardship. That's probably not these folks here though. Yeah, he is a possessed lunatic witch. Definitely not somebody we would like to have in our camp. And a sadistic and wrathful man doesn't sound like someone we need either. Let's go back and mingle with the locals in the tavern. Let's see what stories they have to tell. And we got exotic martial for 3 months, so that's a short-term buff. Let's have a quick look if there's anybody up for recruitment here who would fit the bill. No, he would work as a knight, but he is a bit of a chicken. Stewardship and learning. She's not much better than Sophia, and she's basically very, very old. And yeah, this is about the same thing. Okay, so no, nothing really, and we don't have the money for that either. So let's get back, have a quick look. We're still good on supplies, and we might get some supplies from the contract. So not really going to purchase anything. Let's see. We do actually have contracts, I think. Protect the Innocent. Yeah, 2 Protect the Innocent contracts. We could get Justicar contracts, martial duty. So that's all good, all stuff that I need. But right now we have contracts there, so we don't really need to spend any prestige on getting any more. So we actually do have some options here. All right, so we'll be still looking for a caravan master. Currently, Sophie is focusing on improving her skills and getting better at being our physician. Physician is incredibly important at this day and age. And for that, then we probably start picking up one of the these both prowess schemes, one of these 2, and we'll see how that goes. The Prince Bishop Rogier of Chalon has asked for somebody to help protect the people in his domain, and he's willing to pay 64 gold coins on completion. And I think that is a good offer. Let's have a look at the trip. There are no dangers over here, but we can scout for talent as we go. That slows us down a little bit, but maybe we can find somebody who's willing to come along as our caravan master. Okay, I clicked it away. I have to do it again. Scout for talent and travel to accept. There we go. All right, let's head back through where we came, through the countryside of Errant, towards the barony of Chalon. Animals, thugs, and ruffians. The mere thought seems to be enough to disturb Prince Bishop Rogier's demeanor. The common people of the Prince Bishopric are so agitated I fear they may raise in arms any moment now. Those with young families have been rebuking my officers, asking why we have not protected them. All right, so we need to protect them. We have a pretty good prowess, so we should be... success chance max is at 40%. So I think we're going with balanced for now because I don't really have a full set of camp yet. So we'll go with a balanced approach. It might take a little bit longer, but we'll see how that goes. So no reason to compromise. There is an auto invite agents. I have found that it doesn't actually do this very well. So let's see. We've got. I'd rather do it by hand. We've got Richard. Obviously, he's going to be the muscle of the whole thing. Yeah. So Richard the Brave will be the muscle. We have Gerhard, who can act as a thug. I think that's probably the better choice here because we can get Thibaut to work as a lookout. So he will join as a lookout. We get Gerhard as the thug. That leaves me with Enguerrand as the second muscle, or Enguerrand as the footpad, which he is better at. So Sophie will join Richard in their job as muscle in this task. And with that, we're actually at a relatively reasonable area. Richard has sort of been eyeing Sophie with interest, Sophie the Honest, although she is slightly older than him, but he does enjoy the sort of motherly type by the looks of it. There might be something down the road that we might have to encourage him a little bit to, speak to her in a private moment. We'll set that up in a way. So we're going through the scheme. I'll cut ahead and we can execute it once we have collected 5 advantages and we have a high enough chance of success. I don't think we're being unreasonable, snarks the cook, who presumably drew the short straw on coming to speak to me, waving an arm dismissively at the surrounding terrain all the while. There's plenty of farms here, even if they're not great ones. It cannot be that hard for us to pause briefly and stock up on some of the little luxuries that make our food bearable. I sigh, wary of the conversation already. I wonder which of us will break first. Yes, our provisions are perhaps a bit below what I'd like them to be. Not in quantity, though, but in quality maybe, but there's little cause for such alarm. So we can either look for some extra provisions, we can pay 50 gold to gather provisions, or we can be quite stern on provisions, which is going to lower provision use. Is that for 10 years, yeah. We're going to lower provisions use for 10 years. Honestly, we'll look for some provisions. It's not that huge of a problem, and I feel for I feel for the mood in our camp. So let's see if we find a little bit, but not an awful lot. Meanwhile, the barber's tent has finished constructing, so let's have a quick look at that. Barber's tent is done. This does reduce the danger we have from any kind of plagues going around, and it does also allow for an internal upgrade. But I think there is not. There would be the surgeon's tools. This would be something for Sophie to improve her skill. But I think for now we're pretty good. So we still have another slot. We can actually create another building here. And the one I'm interested in is the baggage train. There are a few more things that we're going to need down the road. I think proving grounds, definitely, maybe camp perimeter. But things that speed up our journeys are greatly appreciated. And the baggage train has an internal upgrade with the with the bartering grounds, which has a 25% stewardship lifecycle experience modifier. So that's a good one. And there's a few more things like that can further increase travel speed. So there's a fair few things that are actually quite useful in here. And obviously it also increases size of certain regiments. So if we preview that, we go all the way. So it increases the size of the regiments further down the road. So that's a good thing. If at some point we wanted to have an army. For now, it'll help a bit with supply capacity and travel speed, and it unlocks it unlocks another officer role really to help us reduce our provision loss depending on who we get. So let's construct that, and with that we have spent our money, but it's good that we're already working again to earn some more coin. All right, we have gained 5 advantages, and I think overall we've done pretty well. We've got Richard and Sophie have been putting people in their places. Richard more with his fist, Sophie more with her stern words. Gerhard has posed as a thug to intimidate any would-be troublemakers. Thibaut has kept a sharp eye on everyone, and Enguerrand has been around as he is. So we have, I think, an 86% success chance. Let us seize the moment. We can wait for another month to get that up to 95, but I think it's good enough. And we have achieved exceptional success by securing the area. 3-4, and there goes the 5th boar this morning. I put the corpse down the cart right in time for Prince Bishop Rogier to arrive with some of his servants. No more murdered cattle, no more lost children. Have your payment, and if the common folk complain once again, I know who to call for. So there were feral hogs in the area as well as miscreants, pickpockets and other rubble, but we have cleared this out pretty well, and we have gained a hook. So he owes us a favor, which we can cash in on later. For now, he's paying us 74 gold coins, which is much appreciated, and we'll be heading back to Paris. So I can make request interactions, but I can also once the just push it aside for a sec. That's the first perk I'm looking at. So once we get the stewardship experience, up to the first point, I'm going to go for the golden obligations, and then we can negotiate for them to cash out for our favors. We come across a man while passing through Colomiers. He's lenient and looks heartbroken. Okay, let's see. He is a rabbi, and he would be a good caravan master. Now the problem obviously is he is of a different faith, and he is of the opinion that Catholicism is evil. He is also a bit deceitful, but he is compassionate, and he is a renowned physician actually. So he's a bit malnourished. So yes, he will probably once if we hire him, he will lose that. But his skill is pretty decent. Now this is going to cause some trouble in the camp, however. So I'm very hesitant because we already have one Franconian here, and at least he's Catholic, Gerhard. So bringing somebody in from a different faith is going to cause all kinds of trouble with the other people around. Now, however, he is a good caravan master. But I think I'd rather be careful, especially that he's deceitful. He might cause us grief. Now, overall, in time, we will gather people from different countries, cultures, and religions. But do we want to? Okay, we'll risk it. We will give him a chance because Bernard the Pitiful is Bernard the Merciful is pitying this poor soul. We will pay him in food and clothes, though, not in gold, because we are not having 75 gold to spare. So we'll hire him in, and he will be our caravan master for now. Now he can improve his skills, which I think is a good idea, because he is currently only good. So he will provide additional safety contributions, speed and safety, but he can still improve his skills further, and then we can stock up for travels to speed up our travels even further. So for now, we'll get him to focus on that, and we will have to work a bit on his opinion in terms of cultural acceptance. Meanwhile, we have met a knight errant. As the snow falls in France and covers the landscape in white, we have met a knight errant. It is known that the people of Mo seem to profess a special devotion towards their knights and their legends. My lord, the knight says, bowing his head, it is most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroad, for I'm in search of a marvelous fountain with water, it's said, to cure all illness. He's looking for the fountain of youth, is he? If you were to help me on my quest, I shall pay homage to you. Enguerrand is quick to interrupt. Wait, my lord, I know this knight. It's Thierry. Oh, he knows Enguerrand. Okay. He is very good at martial. He's a brave man. However, he does have a bit of an issue with looking at women with intense intent, which is considered sinful in Catholics. So, but he is brave as well. So I think we could get him. We could get Thierry to convince him to abandon his quest and join his camp. But I think since he is on a mission and he is a famous knight, Bernard is definitely starry-eyed at this point, and we're going to get him to lead the way, and we shall see. We'll follow him on his quest for the Fountain of Youth, and this delays our journey somewhat, but we will see how this ends. The knight leads us to a small clearing where a natural fountain glimmers. The light reflects on its surface with a blissful shimmer, and it makes the water look so bright that it feels like a second sun. Careful, a beast, a guardian! The knight points to a boar standing between us and the fountain. I shall fight that, but I can distract it, and that would give me that would give me piety, but most likely that's an intrigue. Or I could use him. Okay, so I could use him as a distraction. Obviously, we're not doing that, but I think we shall fight it. Worst case, we get wounded. But we'll see. It's a boar. We've been killing boars all these past months. I do not fear. I shall fight the boar. And we have slain it. So I got knight errant training for 15 years, and Thierry, I think, has joined. Let's see. Thierry might have joined us. Let's have a quick look. Do we have Thierry? Yes, Thierry has joined us. He is very good at martial. but we don't really need him for any particular role at the moment. Now, I have tried to convince Enguerrand that, things aren't as bad as he thinks they are, but it hasn't been successful. So I think I'm going to abandon that for now. And instead, I am going to follow up with Gerhard and see if we can, because right now there's not too much. His opinion of us isn't too great, and he is of a different culture, obviously. So, and he does have the sadistic trait. So, we can also spar with him. Okay, that's an interesting one. But let's begin by increasing his opinion of us, and then we shall. Can we do that with everybody? Can we do that with? Yes, we can. So who's got the better modifiers? I think, Richard. Richard the Brave. Let's spar with Richard. We will see. Oh, that costs 150 prestige. We will see what comes of that. Oh, of course, there's risk involved, but let's have a sparring match. Okay. Training match. We're not here to hurt each other, but let me close all these things. For a few brief moments, Richard and I pace in lazy half circles, each watching for an opening. I heft my sword, ready to defend myself, while he clutches his mace firmly to hand. This fight may only be till first blood, but that doesn't ease my nerves. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. Richard shifts into a defensive stance, his mace forming a damn near impenetrable wall of perfect parries between me and him. So the way I understand this is that there are two modifiers. There's the risk of injury and the likelihood of success. And you obviously need to increase both, or you need to increase the likelihood without increasing the risk of injury too much. So he's gone for low success, no injury. So I could go in for a hard attack with high risk of injury, or I can throw some silver, some gold really, but. We're not. We don't do this kind of. We just don't do this kind of this kind of dishonorable thing. I'm gonna go for a hard attack. Let's see. Okay, putting all my strength into my first strike, I leap straight for Richard, hefting my sword high into a powerful cleave that sends him reeling. Richard retaliates with a smooth flowing series of rapid thumps and crushing thwacks, each strike forcing me back a little more. My form is good, with only small errors, and Richard's stance is formidable. I have my opponent on the back foot, but still need to consolidate my victory. Alright, so he's gone for medium success, low injury. We can probably just match that. So confident attack, or try to tire him out. Now he is a bit heavyweight, but he is an experienced fighter, so I think tiring him out might be a risky gamble here, although it does not come with any risk of injury, and we've gone just for a high risk of injury. Let's go with tiring it out. So time again I backpedal, dodge and weave, always keeping just within tempting target distance. Soon Richard's showing signs of exhaustion. Yes, it's all these sweetbreads you had. Richard counters with a fierce hail of rapid thumps, almost crushing me repeatedly. My form is excellent, with little chance for mistake, and Richard's stance is incredible. My opponent is still holding off my blows well, but he seems close to faltering. Alright, he's gone for high risk of success with medium. We don't actually have that option, so we're going to go for a confident attack now. Let's see where that gets us. My sword flows around Richard like water, each strike chaining fluidly into the next, a series of perfectly timed attacks. Richard retaliates with a smooth flowing series of rapid thumps and crushing. My form is excellent. Richard's stance is incredible. Okay, so not much has really changed. He's gone low risk, medium, and I think we'll have to one-up him on that one, otherwise we're not getting anywhere. So we're going to go with an expert onslaught now. Okay, my sword arm moves fast as lightning and strikes as hard as sundered stone. Blow by blow, I beat my opponent into submission, hammering him into the ground with all the fury St. George can lend me. I wonder if I've gone too far. Richard cuffs hard enough to lose his grip on his mace, and I allow myself a little sigh of relief. with the worry over, I kick my foe's weapon away and lay my own against his throat. It takes a few tries, but Richard gets the yield out eventually. I am victorious. Unfortunately, Richard has been wounded, so I hope that do I get anything else out of this other than being victorious in single combat? Not really, by the looks of it. But poor Richard's now wounded, so I might have gone a little far with that. Hopefully, Sophie can take care of him, and yeah, maybe that gives him his opportunity. Maybe that gives him his opportunity to, talk things out with her over the loving treatment of his wounds. Anyway, I was going to, we were doing the sway scheme on Gerhard, and we are returning to Paris. And I think with that, we have made some progress here. Oh yeah, okay, there comes the conclusion. I put my weapon down and turned to Richard, giving him a customary round of applause. He does the same. Well fought, my master. You bested me fair and square. This practice will surely serve us well should there be war in the future for the Lion de Beauvais. This was invigorating. Lion de Beauvais is our group, by the way, just in case I haven't mentioned that before. It was invigorating. I feel fit and ready. We get we get leader of knights. Both we get leader of knights for 10 years. Plus 1 prowess and 50% knight effectiveness. Okay, that is actually massive. So, not that we need it yet, but for future reference, that is good to know. But it's not a permanent modifier. Okay, we have returned. Quick look, and yeah, Richard's wounds have healed, and I would say Richard and Sophie have over the course of her treating that cut across his face. Has been he gained noble defender. Okay, that's a different one as well. So him and Sophie had the chance for some heart to heart over her treating his wounds, and I think it is about time that the two of them are going to be exchanging their vows and become the first couple of our little camp. And I think with that, everybody is just a little happier. All right. Sophie has married Richard in Paris, in the Kingdom of France, and we will go on further adventures. The world is huge, and there are many places yet to see on our journey to become a knight.